All right, Moonstruck. When you think back to it, what do you think of? Like, don't tell me it was the greatest movie ever, but like, is there a little something that happened on set?
Norman Jewison I loved. Yeah, there was something in the set that happened. I don't know if I should tell you.
Of course you should tell me.
I'm not going to tell you who the person is that did it. There was someone that was passing wind.
Oh, did you talk about this in the book? I feel like you did. I think I've heard this.
And we all thought it was the old guy.
Right.
And it happened to be one of the actresses. And how did I find out? I found out because at the time I was doing a play on Broadway, and there were 3 nuns. They were playing 3 nuns in the show. And I was telling them the story, and they said, "We know who it is." And I said, "Oh." And they named it. They said, "We called her the biggest fart layer when we walked."
But it wasn't Cher, for the record.
No, definitely not Cher. Definitely not.
What about?
We all thought it was Louis Gus. Louis Gus is the uncle who said the moon. You know, not the old man, the next to the old man. We thought it was him because he surprisingly he would leave. We would be in a whole bunch of us together, and suddenly one person would leave, and then whoa. And we'd look at each other and say, and it happened every time because Norman Jewison is a stage director. He's a great director, and I love him so much. He would set a stage, so we rehearsed before we actually did it. Most pictures you don't rehearse. Some directors like to rehearse. Some want it cold.
Yeah.
They want you to come
Fresh.
in and, but they don't want you rehearsed and practiced. But he set up things so you knew when you were on the set where you were going, exactly what you were going to do. So we'd have these sets and the actors would all be in it, and then one person would leave. Sometimes we didn't know who it was. We tried to figure who was the person that left. And this person would leave it and then go, and we were left with the stink.
And that's what sticks out to you.
This person
decades
happened to be
later.
a vegetarian who did a lot of passing of wind,
It is so funny. So what about, was there an incident that you haven't told the story to already on The Godfather, Part 2?
This particular thing, Piantangeli was played by Michael Gazzo, and in the scene I had to strangle him. And I had to come from behind the bar, and he was set up by my brother Carmine, who was sitting at the bar with him. He says, "I don't understand this $50, you give him something like that." He says, "Oh no, it's no problem." I come up behind him, I get a garrote and I put around his neck and I drag him into the phone booth, and I'm trying to kill him, and in walks a cop, and he said, "What's going on here?" And he walks to the back, and I run out without killing him, and I yell at the bartender, "You open your effing mouth, I'll kill you." And I run out, we have the gun battle out in the street. Rehearsing that particular scene, I had no line. There was no line that I had. All I had to do was come from the back, garrote him, and drag him out. He said, "Let's rehearse." Francis Coppola says. So we're rehearsing the scene, and as I come around, I throw the garrote over his head to his neck, and I said, "Michael Corleone says hello." And he says, "Cut." He said, "What did you say?" And I was so beside myself because this is a big director. It's one of the first things I'm doing. And I said, I think I said somebody, I think I said, "Michael Corleone says hello." He says, "Good, keep it in."
Brilliant.
Now I know I might have told you that because it's all over.
Yes.
The internet.
It's a great story, though.
But keep in mind, I had no idea why I said it. I knew that in the picture, we don't know who hired us. We're talked about, but there was no...
Oh, so it's not that obvious, not that clear.
That's right.
Gotcha.
And no one said, "What did that mean?" People would ask, "What does that mean?" They asked me, I said, "I have no idea." I didn't know who was sending me there. I mean, my part didn't tell me who was sending me there. I didn't know who I was working with. There were statements made by, "Oh, he sent them. You know, this guy sent, the guy from Miami sent them." No one really knew. I didn't know. I just said the line to cover. I said, "How can I do this without saying something?" And I said, "Michael Corleone says hello." I blamed it on Michael. But it really wasn't Michael who had it done, whatever.
Who was it then who had it done? I can't remember. Who was it?
Well, the Jewish guy.
Oh, it was Hyman Roth?
Yeah, Hyman Roth. Yeah.
Oh, so but he still let it stay in.
Yeah.
How interesting. That is interesting.
But I had no. I wasn't smart enough to know what I just said. Words.
But so it just came out. You were acting. You were in whatever that zone is that you get into when you know who you are because you're someone else.
Was I trying to blame Michael Corleone? You know what I mean? I said Michael Corleone said low.
Yeah.
But even if I killed him, he wouldn't know anyway what I said. You know what I mean? He's dead.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was very confusing. When you see it again, you say, what the hell does that mean?
And I will, because if it's ever on TV, I will keep watching.
And
like if
also,
I'm going through the...
And also, who I never met Brando, and I wanted to meet Brando. And this is a story I never told you, it's briefly. I was doing Della Ventura, and I was offered The Last Don, which made a lot of money. And you know, the big Les Moonves gave me these jobs. I mean, he made me so much money.
Oh, Les Moonves?
I loved him.
Really?
I know he went through this damaging stuff recently. He said, I'd love you to do this. And he offered me 3 things. Pick your choice. Play a priest, play a fireman, or play a private detective, and I'll have the things written for you. And I ended up doing the detective, which was Della Ventura. So now we're at Carnegie Hall with all the buyers of television, and I'm being introduced as doing The Last Don, and I had just done Della Ventura. So just before going out on the stage, I'm handing an envelope, okay? And I open it up, it says to be hand delivered to Danny Aiello. I open the envelope, and it says, Dear Danny, and it's from Brando. And he says to me, I wish I was as exquisite as you were in The Last Don. Now keep in mind, I thought The Last Don sucked. I thought the makeup was terrible. I loved myself as the old man in The Last Don. I didn't particularly like it, but it won Emmys, it won everything, you know.
Yeah,
and it won
it was
everything.
respected.
It was the most watched whatever. And he wrote this, and I have the letter framed. And then he goes on to say, you did so much for civil rights, because he was into that. I don't know what the hell I did for civil rights.
What did you do? What did he mean?
He was adding Do the
Do
Right
the right
Thing.
thing, he meant. Oh my God, so just like Spike Lee said,
He said
what
The
you
Last
did.
Don, and he said, and what he said about you did so much for civil rights.
He meant do the right thing? That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah. He meant to do the right thing.
And little did you know that Brando was watching you this whole
I had no idea.
time.
One of the greats.
That's incredible.
Never met him.
That's
Never
too bad
met
you never
him.
met him. But you know what? Your interactions are priceless. You didn't need to meet him.
Yeah.
What you got from him,
Yeah.
you didn't even need to.
I'm going to send you a copy of the letter so you can see it.
Do that. I would
Yeah,
love
I'll do
to.
it, right, Louis? Yeah, I got to show it to him.
I want to see. That's major.
Make sure Louis has everything on you so I can get in touch with you.
Okay.
Who does she look like? Does she look like the kid who traveled me all over the country?
No.
You don't see that in the face? No.
First of all, she's blonde.
Not the blonde, the brunette, who went to Italy with me and everything.
I don't know that one.
Talking about you talking.
Debbie.
Not Debbie Zola, she's my makeup artist.
No, but the only one I know that traveled with you was the blonde. What's her name?
She's not a blonde, Louis, she's brown hair. You saw her as a blonde?
Yeah.
She looks just like her. Yeah, but she got her eyes, she took care of me.
Well, next time you go to Italy, I'm coming with you,
Well,
not her.
let me tell you this. The trouble, my son Danny, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
I needed someone to take care of me when I was on the road. All the things that I had to do, I didn't know what was happening.
Jose Ferrer directed it.
That's major,
Jose
Jose
Ferrer
Ferrer.
directed
He's
me.
major, right? He was major.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He was wonderful with me, and I met his ex-wife, Rosemary Clooney, who took me to California.
Wait, Rosemary Clooney was his ex-wife?
Yeah, what was it?
And she's George Clooney's aunt, or she was.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
her.
that's
yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah, and Rosemary, I didn't know Rosemary, but I loved the way she sung. And she asked me to sing. I didn't even, well, she saw me in a movie or something sing, and she said, and I sang at the Agnes, what is it, the Agnes Woolley Hall or something, where they had the Academy Awards. And I sung 2 Irving Berlin songs, Always, and something with the sun. I forget. I'll be loving you always. And I'm on a plane flying, and who am I sitting next to? Irving Berlin's daughter. And when I said, I have to sing this song, she said, that was my, Blue Skies.
Blue
Skies.
Yeah,
She said, my father's favorite song was Always.
Really?
That's what he's
You
doing.
have so many of these
I
moments.
know.
So many. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
I think you blow me away. I know it doesn't matter because I'm not Sandy telling you that or your kids telling you that.
That's very nice that you held on to that. But it means a lot to me.
But
that
really.
you say it. Louis, I get excited when people say it right. I just don't know how to react to it.
I know, I guess.
That's it.
But also a lot of people, like a lot of famous people, don't like their fans almost, I think. Maybe I won't say a lot, but I think there are plenty of people who kind of fans.
I see that all the time.
Right?
I've
You're
seen
not
it with
like
my
that,
friends,
though.
and I hate their behavior.
Yeah.
I've seen friends, I'm not going to mention their names, sitting at a table, a person walks over. You have to understand me. I could be sitting there eating. If a person comes to me, what do, Louis?
You always stop and give them attention.
I cannot ignore that.
Yeah.
I cannot do it because I know I'm a public figure and I'm up there. And listen, any actor who tells you, I don't want that, they're full of shit, excuse my language. The people go into that because they want that. It's just that it gets old to some of the people and they don't want it. They don't want it later.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Your buddy Samuel L. Jackson was on 60 Minutes maybe 6 months ago, and he said something just like that.
Is that
he
right?
said, when an actor tells you, they don't want this attention, this is a look at me profession.
Yes.
I don't buy it.
I feel the same way.
This is not verbatim, but that's the kind of thing that he said.
And I could name friends of mine who got up. You know who I'm not going to mention their names. I mean, how could you do that? I seen a wheelchair. I saw a kid in a wheelchair refuse because the kid came to me first in the wheelchair. And the other actor who was with me in the film said, I don't want to. Now, why?
Yeah.
Why
I don't
would?
know.
And then I saw, I'm eating. Can you see I'm eating? And these guys, I'm saying, how could you do that? What? How can you do that?
Seriously, though, people are different. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody has the same heart. Not everybody feels for other people the same way.
Yeah.
People come in all shapes
You're
and
absolutely
sizes,
right.
stripes,
And
whatever.
That's the way I should be thinking because it is. No one is really the same as the other.
Right, and you are who you are, and it's a beautiful thing, and everybody's lucky. Whoever's there coming up to you, whoever's watching you, they're lucky.
Thanks, kid.
I'm going to ask you one more question. Let me think
Go
of
ahead.
a good, I don't know, I'm trying to think of it on the spot.
All
What do you
right,
think a good
okay.
closing question is for
what,
this?
babe?
A good closing question. What do you think?
I'm still going, babe.
How about,
We have a play coming up that we'll be doing on Broadway. It's called Pop. It's written by Michael Christopher. Are you familiar with him?
Uh-huh.
He won the, what did he win?
Pulitzer.
Pulitzer Prize for Shadowbox. And it's one of the great scripts that I've read, and it's already been optioned by my producer, Rose.
We have a great producer, too.
Yeah, she's won 5 Tonys. Her name is Rose Caiola. Are you familiar with that
Yes.
name?
And yeah,
She's the greatest.
Louis and I were talking about it before. It sounds good. So when is that coming to Broadway?
Well, we
you
don't
think?
know now because I'm with this, and the other thing is my life story, which is somebody else. We're making a movie.
Wait, you are?
Oh yeah, that's in the working. We already have the script,
Oh.
and there's no problem with financing.
So that's going right now.
I'm sorry.
That's in the works right now.
That's in the works right now. Yeah, because
keep me
it's going to be
posted.
too old to do it. But keep in mind, I'm not starring in everything. I am in 50% of the film as me, with me now, the things I'm doing. But then you'll see me as 20,
Sure.
35, 50. You'll see 3 different guys playing. Well, actually 3 with the little boy.
With the little boy.
The little boy
Yeah.
playing me.
Well, it's like a Bronx Tale.
Yeah,
Kind of thing. Yeah. You see him as a little kid,
Yeah,
or
but-
even Goodfellas
yeah.
had different
But
ages.
You'll see,
Bad
it's
analogy.
terrific.
I know. Why did I say that?
What?
I said,
Cut.
it's a Bronx Tale. It's a bad
I
analogy.
Terrible.
No, wait. A Bronx Tale is a bad analogy?
No, it's good. Good.
Is that one okay? But Goodfellas. Oh wait, Bronx Tale is Chaz Palminteri.
No, it's yeah, whatever.
That has nothing to do with Scorsese.
No.
Is there bad
No,
blood
no,
there?
I like.
No, but it's not going to be the same. His story is real. It's
My story's real.
Of course,
Yeah.
but so is a Bronx Tale.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
What do you
It's
mean?
all bullshit. Excuse
What
my
do you
language.
mean?
3 guys wrote that Bronx Tale.
Wait.
Mike Starr,
What?
Renzulli, and Chaz. 3 guys. They had the big fallout. They haven't spoken. They're 2 actors. The other guy, one guy, Renzulli, is one of the writers for The Sopranos, one of the head writers. And Mike Starr was an actor who looked something like me. And Chaz Palminteri, they had a fallout, 2/3 of them left. He had the script. I'm talking about
Chaz.
Chaz.
Yeah.
It went to Bobby. Bobby got enamored by it. It wasn't true. There was a lot of BS involved in it, but you know, there were 3 guys writing it.
Wait, the story I heard
Ah,
from Chaz himself
yeah, well,
is that he wrote it as a one-man play, starred in it, did the whole thing himself. Are you telling me that's totally bogus?
3 guys.
So how do you know
It
this?
was
I
a
know.
movie.
I know the
It was a
guys.
movie
What
first.
was the movie? No.
Yeah, Bronx Tale was a movie first.
No. Before,
No,
I'm not
she
talking
knows
about the
that, but
Broadway
he said
play. I'm
the
talking
original
about,
writing one. Yeah.
Yeah, he says that he couldn't get work, and so he started writing for himself. So he started writing this one-man play to act in himself, a small thing.
3 guys.
And then that he kept kind of putting it down, like getting it better and better and better, like getting the waste out and making it a play that he performed in L.A. Like we're talking
that's
years and
true.
years and years ago.
No, it's true. He did do
Yeah.
one man, but it was based on the movie, A Bronx Tale.
No, the move, but he. No,
He
no,
said
no,
he
no.
did it before,
He
and we
says
don't
he
know
did
that.
it- No, because
we don't know that. He might have done it before. We didn't know. We thought he did it only after the play, after the picture.
Yeah.
But here's all I
Okay,
ask you.
okay,
Here's
yeah.
the only thing I would ask you is, we were told these things way when it was happening. Mike Starr knew me. And Renzulli knew me, because I got Renzulli a job. He stopped me on the street, and he said, "Hi, Danny Aiello and Mike." So I called up my agent. He told me he was an actor, the kid. Richard Astor was my agent. I said, "Richard, there's a wonderful actor." Anyway, I didn't even know the kid. Whatever. So Richard started to handle him. The kid gets in the Woody Allen movie with me. He's one of the little gangsters who beats me up in the car, or beats Woody up in the car. Ask anyone if they know Renzulli. Take this down, the name down.
Okay.
Renzulli and
Renzulli.
Mike Starr, because that's the source who told me. So whether it was true or not, it would start there. They will tell you everything.
So-
Everything that you want to know.
That's crazy.
He's an actor, Mike Starr.
So do they feel like they were screwed by him?
Oh, they don't talk to him. I haven't spoken to him in 25 years.
Oh, you're blowing my mind right now. I
hate
can't
to do
believe
this
it.
to you, honey.
No, it's
Now let's say this. Maybe Chaz is telling a total truth. Maybe he is. I am telling you what
I hear
Renzulli
you.
and Mike Starr told me,
I
and
hear
didn't
you.
talk to them. They were great. They were writing together. That's what they said.
wow.
Everyone knew it. Everyone around the neighborhood knew it. All the actors. Renzulli, Mike Starr.
I gotcha, and I have it on audio, so I can
Yeah.
just when I see it later, I'll
Check it out. Just see if you can touch with them and say, "I was wondering," so
Yeah,
forth
yeah,
and so
yeah.
on. Do a little investigative work.
Yeah, I can do that. I mean, I wouldn't normally do that, but
Yeah,
you
won't-
tell me
don't
what
wanna
you
go
tell
back
me.
and
But
kill Chaz with
that's
it,
so
because Chaz
interesting.
came up with the movie's there. The
Right.
evidence. I mean, he
because
did
he
his
says
job.
that happened to him. He says that he was Cologero.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So the point is, he was a success at what he did.
Yeah.
The movie was sold. He's gone around. It was on Broadway. The strange thing is, not one Tony was given to that play. I mean, it sounds crazy. How could they not give a Tony nomination to the play, to someone in it?
Well, maybe I don't know. Did you see it? You
No.
didn't see it.
No,
I didn't see it either.
No, I didn't either.
Okay, I'm going to ask you this question.
Go ahead.
What's your biggest secret that you have never told anyone?
Wow. I'm such an open book. I wouldn't call it a secret, but I never cursed in front of my mother.